Prince William's anger has shocked the nation. Moments after the controversial UK-EU Brexit agreement was revealed, the heir to the throne reportedly exploded in fury, calling out Keir Starmer in a way that has stunned Westminster and sent up shockwaves through the political landscape. This isn't just another political scandal, it's a seismic event that threatens to reshape Britain's future. What led to this unprecedented royal outburst? And what does it mean for Starmer, Brexit, and the very soul of British democracy? Let's dive into the explosive truth behind the headlines. The Brexit deal that Starmer has signed is being described by many as the greatest betrayal since the 2016 referendum. After years of promises to honour the British people's vote to leave the European Union, Starmer has quietly negotiated a pact that critics say hands far too much control back to Brussels. This agreement is not the Brexit the nation was promised. It reintroduces EU rules and oversight, undermining the sovereignty so fiercely fought for. British passports will be processed under EU systems at automated border gates. Pet passports are making a comeback, and the UK will follow EU food and animal health standards once again. Rather than freedom, this deal feels like a retreat into bureaucracy and lost independence. What makes this situation even more explosive is the reported reaction of Prince William. Traditionally, members of the royal family remain neutral on political matters, keeping their views private to maintain stability and unity. Yet behind closed doors, sources say the prince did not hold back. He allegedly branded Starmer's actions a betrayal of the democratic will, expressing deep concern over the direction the country is taking. His words, leaked from within the palace, have ignited a firestorm. The prince's statement has already become a rallying cry among those who feel betrayed by Starmer's leadership and the Brexit deal. Inside Westminster, the political fallout is growing. Labour's ranks are fracturing as anger mounts over the secretive negotiations. Angela Rayner is said to be furious, having been sidelined during critical discussions with Brussels. Several backbench MPs are whispering about leadership challenges and coups. Rachel Reeves is distancing herself from Starmer's stance amid growing public discontent. Meanwhile, Reform UK is surging, capitalising on widespread anger and promising a genuine Brexit that honours the referendum result. Nigel Farage has called the deal Brexit in name only, and the party's growing influence is shaking the traditional two-party system to its core. The public reaction has been immediate and fierce. Social media platforms are flooded with hashtags like Turn Starmer Traitor and Not My Brexit trending across the UK. Polls show Labour's support plummeting by double digits in less than 48 hours. Voters feel betrayed, especially those who backed Leave. And even some Remain supporters are questioning if this was always Starmer's plan. The trust that once held the government together is crumbling. This deal isn't just a political misstep. It's a constitutional crisis shaking the foundations of British democracy itself. Starmer's justification has been weak and unconvincing. He claims the agreement resets Brexit in a way that benefits the UK, but the details tell a different story. Control over the UK's waters remains with the EU, immigration policy is being renegotiated under Brussels' watch, and defence matters are increasingly intertwined with European oversight. The $150 billion fund Britain will contribute to the EU is a staggering financial burden on taxpayers. On environmental policy, Starmer's government is tying Britain to the EU's emissions trading scheme, effectively surrendering control over carbon tax and regulations. As families struggle with rising prices and small businesses face crushing tax hikes proposed by Labour's own Rachel Reeves, Reform UK grows ever stronger as the voice of opposition. The royal family's break from tradition with Prince William's outburst signals just how serious this crisis is. It is rare for a royal to speak politically, and when they do, it captures the nation's attention. His words have become a symbol of resistance against Starmer's Brexit betrayal. The political landscape is shifting, and the country is watching closely. How Starmer navigates this storm may determine not just his political future, but the future of the United Kingdom itself. The aftermath of Keir Starmer's controversial Brexit agreement has unleashed a political earthquake that continues to ripple through every corner of the United Kingdom's political establishment. What was intended to be a quiet reset has instead exposed deep fractures within the Labour Party, revealed the rising power of Reform UK, and drawn the royal family into an unprecedented political spotlight. The deal, branded by many as a betrayal, of the 2016 referendum has shattered the trust of millions of voters who believed in Starmer's promises to respect the will of the people. The immediate consequences have been dramatic. Labour's polling numbers have plunged by double digits, defections and dissent within the party are increasing, and the government is struggling to maintain any semblance of unity or authority. Angela Rayner, Labour's deputy leader, has reportedly been sidelined and furious over the secretive nature of the negotiations with Brussels. Her exclusion from key discussions has only fueled suspicions of internal power struggles and mistrust within the party's ranks. Backbench MPs, long frustrated with Starmer's leadership, are whispering openly about the possibility of a coup to replace him, fearing that the party's electoral prospects are being irreparably damaged. Rachel Reeves, Shadow Chancellor and once a prominent voice within the party, is increasingly distancing herself from Starmer's Brussels-friendly approach. Her recent tax proposals have already alienated small businesses, and now her silence on the Brexit deal speaks volumes. The internal discord threatens to erupt into a full-blown crisis that could fracture Labour's electoral base and open the door for political upheaval. Meanwhile, Reform UK is capitalising on this chaos to surge forward as the principal alternative for voters disillusioned by both Labour and the Conservatives. Their recent historic victory in Durham County Council is more than a local upset. It signals a broader national shift toward Reform's brand of hardline Brexit and nationalist politics. Under the leadership of figures like Nigel Farage and Richard Tice, Reform UK has strategically positioned itself to exploit Labour's weakness and public anger over the Brexit deal. Farage's ongoing influence over the party's campaign messaging and strategic decisions remains unmistakable. His ability to channel widespread frustration into electoral gains has transformed Reform UK from a fringe player into a formidable political force. With 677 seats now held across local councils in the country, Reform's grip on grassroots politics is tightening, and their success in Durham represents a key milestone in their long-term plan to reshape British politics. Darren Grimes, recently sworn in as Deputy Leader of Durham County Council, exemplifies the new direction Reform UK is taking. Known for his sharp political commentary and national strategic vision, Grimes's appointment signals the party's intent to place high-profile voices in key leadership roles. He now oversees critical portfolios such as budget and communications, which will be instrumental in shaping the council's policy direction in the coming months. Alongside Grimes, Andrew Husband has been appointed leader of the council and has wasted no time in initiating sweeping reforms. By scrapping portfolios focused on climate change and equality, once prioritised areas, Husband is signalling a sharp ideological realignment, emphasising more immediate, locally resonant concerns like neighbourhoods, environment and community cohesion. This pragmatic shift underscores Reform UK's strategy to root itself firmly within local governance while advancing its core principles. The leadership structure further includes Robbie Roddis as chair of the council and Jackie Teasdale as deputy chair. Roddis's role in maintaining order during council sessions is critical to enabling Reform to swiftly implement its agenda. Meanwhile, Teasdale's appointment not only strengthens Reform's influence, but also highlights the close-knit nature of the council's new leadership, as she is the mother of Deputy Leader Darren Grimes. This familial connection reflects the tight bonds within the party's rising cadre and their determination to consolidate power at the grassroots level. However, not everyone welcomes these changes. Amanda Hopgood, former leader of Durham County Council, has voiced serious concerns about Reform's approach. She warns that the party may be turning Durham into a political experiment, testing an unproven and potentially divisive model of governance that could have far-reaching consequences beyond local politics. At the national level, Reform UK's momentum continues to grow, fueled by a wider wave of voter dissatisfaction with the traditional political establishment. Richard Tice, the party's deputy leader, has publicly defended Reform's record and approach following the election victories. He asserts that councils run by Reform are delivering results and that Durham's success is a clear indication that voters are endorsing their policies. This assertion is supported by the rapid expansion of Reform's presence in local governments across the country. The party's ability to translate grassroots energy into tangible electoral success challenges the dominance of both Labour and Conservative parties, which are increasingly viewed as out of touch or compromised. Farage's vision of Reform as the only political force willing to stand up against the EU and traditional elites resonates strongly with a segment of the electorate hungry for change. As Reform UK strengthens its foothold, the broader implications for UK politics are profound. Meanwhile, Reform UK capitalises on this political vacuum with remarkable agility and resolve. The party's recent electoral successes, including the significant breakthrough in Durham County Council, demonstrate its ability to mobilise voters, who are increasingly sceptical of both Labour and Conservative parties. Reform's platform, anchored on a hard Brexit, strict immigration controls, and a rejection of woke politics, resonates strongly with a growing segment of the population that feels overlooked and unheard. Nigel Farage, as the party's figurehead, continues to galvanise supporters with his unyielding critique of the EU and establishment politics. His involvement lends Reform UK a charisma and media presence that other parties struggle to match. Richard Tice's strategic leadership complements Farage's populism with an emphasis on governance and local engagement, allowing Reform to present itself as both a protest party and a credible governing alternative. At the local government level, Reform UK's takeover of Durham County Council is a microcosm of their broader ambitions. The party's new leadership team, including figures like Darren Grimes and Andrew Husband, has embarked on a campaign to overhaul council priorities, signalling a rejection of policies associated with climate activism and social equity in favour of more traditional community concerns. This shift is both ideological and pragmatic, aiming to appeal to voters frustrated by what they perceive as ineffective and divisive politics. The restructuring of portfolios reflects a desire to reassert control over local resources and decision-making, emphasising tangible improvements in neighbourhoods, services, and local infrastructure. However, this approach has ignited controversy, drawing criticism from former council leaders and activists who warn that Reform's policies risk marginalising vulnerable groups and ignoring pressing environmental challenges. The involvement of the monarchy in this political saga, particularly the reported outburst from Prince William regarding Starmer's Brexit deal, adds a layer of unprecedented complexity. While the British royal family traditionally maintains a neutral stance in political affairs, the prince's public expression of anger reflects the profound impact Brexit continues to have on national sentiment. His reaction can be interpreted as a symbolic endorsement of the widespread feelings of betrayal and frustration among many citizens. This unprecedented royal commentary underscores the gravity of the current crisis and suggests that the political turmoil transcends conventional party politics, touching on issues of national unity and identity. The prince's stance has already sparked debate about the evolving role of the monarchy in modern Britain, raising questions about how far royal influence can or should extend in political discourse. Amid these upheavals, the media landscape plays a crucial role in shaping public perception and political fortunes. Reform UK's strategic use of social media, combined with high-profile appearances and bold messaging, has enabled them to punch above their weight in national conversations. Nigel Farage's media savvy, in particular, helps to frame Reform as the authentic voice of a disenfranchised electorate. Conversely, Labour struggles to control its narrative, with internal leaks, public disagreements, and high-profile resignations feeding a growing sense of instability and decline. Starmer's attempts to present a united front are undermined by frequent challenges from within his own party, casting doubt on his ability to lead Labour out of this crisis. The opposition's turmoil is further compounded by the Conservative government's own vulnerabilities, which Reform UK is quick to exploit by positioning itself as a fresh and uncompromised alternative. Economically, the Brexit deal and its fallout exacerbate existing challenges. Businesses and local governments face uncertainty and disruption as trade barriers and regulatory changes take effect. Labour's hesitance and Reform's aggressive rhetoric both reflect the tensions between economic pragmatism and nationalist appeals. The Durham Council leadership's decision to reprioritise portfolios signals an attempt to focus on immediate economic and social needs, but also a rejection of broader progressive agendas that have become associated with higher levels of government. This recalibration highlights the growing divide between local and national politics, where voter priorities can diverge sharply from party leadership strategies. Looking forward, the British political landscape appears poised for further fragmentation and realignment. Labour's survival depends on its ability to reconcile internal divisions and regain the trust of disaffected voters, a daunting task in the face of Reform UK's rising momentum. Reform's challenge will be to translate local successes into sustained national influence, while managing the practical realities of governance and coalition building. The monarchy's role, while largely symbolic, could influence public sentiment and political calculations in subtle but significant ways. As political actors navigate this volatile environment, the choices they make will shape the future trajectory of the United Kingdom, testing the resilience of its democratic institutions and the bonds that hold its society together. In this context, every decision carries weight, every speech is analysed for hidden meaning, and every electoral outcome becomes a referendum on the broader questions facing the nation. The coming months promise intense political drama, with the potential for both renewal and rupture. For voters, the challenge is to sift through competing narratives and promises to identify which leaders and parties can genuinely address their concerns and restore stability. For political insiders, the task is to build coalitions capable of governing effectively amid deep ideological divides. Ultimately, the Brexit betrayal and its aftermath represent not just a political crisis, but a defining moment in Britain's ongoing story of change, challenge, and resilience. If you found this deep dive into the political upheaval gripping, the UK insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this story and other breaking news. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment as events unfold. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. And join the conversation about what this means for Britain's future. Stay tuned for more exclusive analysis right here.